Garth Brooks is continuing to sound off on the Bud Light controversy, namely the fact that he is planning to sell Bud Light in his new honky-tonk bar in Nashville. And he's elaborating with what I would call a pretty nuanced take. He's basically saying, yes, we're going to sell Bud Light. Yes, this is going to be an accepting place. But the way he kind of puts it in his own words, in my opinion, is just so well-spoken and well-said. Take a listen for yourself here.
Inclusiveness is always going to be me. I think diversity is the answer to the problems that are here and the answer to the problems that are coming. So I love diversity, all included, so all are welcome. I understand that might not be other people's opinions, but that's okay, man. They have their opinions, they have their beliefs. I have mine. I'm a bar owner now. Are we going to have the most popular beers in the thing? Yes. It's not our call if we don't or not. It's the patrons' call, the bosses, right? Bring them in there. If they don't want it, then I got to go to the distributor and say, hey, man, your stuff's not selling. And then action gets taken, right? So here's the deal, man. If you want to come to Friends and Low Places, come in. But come in with love. Come in with tolerance, patience. Come in with an open mind. And it's cool.
I love Garth Brooks.
You got to love Garth Brooks. This is a really great take of his. Obviously, everybody can get behind what he's saying about inclusion and diversity. It's fantastic. It also reminds us that Garth Brooks is in a very unique position. Unlike all but a handful of folks in the restaurant and bar industry, he is not sensitive to losing a few $1 million if he loses customers as a result of this. So that puts him in a position to be able to follow his passions and his morality, which he's doing, which is fantastic. You feel for the other bar owners on Broadway and elsewhere who might not have that luxury and are at the victimized by the whims of an outraged populace on one side or the other. But hopefully, Garth Brooks' place, establishment, can be sort of a watering hole for everybody, regardless of their points of view.
Yeah. Well, Garth Brooks is such a big power, so it's so important that he does take a stance like this.
Absolutely.
To show, especially in a place like Nashville, where people think it is more conservative.
Right.
But I don't think this is going to hurt his bar at all. It's Broadway. It's Garth Brooks.
It is.
When you're walking down Broadway late at night and you see that sign,
sounds like you know a thing or two about that.
I do know a thing. He's not going to lose any, and this is who Garth Brooks is. He's always been like this.
That's a good point.
Like how Eric was saying yesterday, he was at Joe Biden's inauguration. This is who he is. He even doesn't put his music on Spotify where you can't buy it because he wants to be in control of it.
Right.
And that's just what he believes in. So it's authentic, and I love this of him.
Courtney, looking around what's happening in our country, looking at the protests against Target and Bud Light and the others, you don't think that he'll lose business as a result of this? You don't think there are some people who are just so outraged by cancel culture, by wokeism, that they're just going to not go to this bar?
You've been to Nashville, so maybe you know. Yes. But for me, I think people in Nashville on Broadway are just looking for a good time. They're probably not thinking politics. They're probably just rolling into his bar, looking at it like, wow, this is Garth Brooks honky tonk. Let's have a beer. And yeah, they might have some Bud Light. I don't think people are actually going to be thinking about this sort of thing. Another point I want to make too is in the full clip of Garth Brooks' remarks here, he says, if the beer's not selling, I'll go to the supplier and switch it out. So he's not even opposed. He's not firmly sticking to Bud Light either. He's saying, yeah, I'm going to have Bud Light at first because it's one of the most popular brands and beers in America.
How can you not have Bud Light in your bar when you first open?
Which is still
it's
true.
Such a staple.
Despite a decrease in sales, it is still one of the most popular beers. What he's also saying is, I'm not opposed to pivoting if I need to. So it's just such a smart, he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He is open to diversity and inclusivity, but he's also saying, capitalism will win, and I think that's kind of the bottom line here. Capitalism always wins, and I just love what he's saying here on all fronts.
Do we know when the bar opens?
I don't know exactly when. I think it's happening soon. It's been under construction since the springtime. I think it's happening.
We'll go do some journalistic work.
We can head over there and take a look ourselves. But good on Garth Brooks. Definitely appreciate his remarks here.
Hi, I'm Tanea from Hartford, Connecticut here. Good point that capitalism does win, but not all the time. We do need different structures so there can be equity in the world. The person as that is a part of the community. Kudos to Garth Brooks. I learned a lot about his work. And I think in the long run, it pays to be inclusive and to include everyone, because transphobia hurts straight people. It hurts cis people. It hurts everyone in the long run. So include everyone. Make your money. Well,
and I think it's just very important to have Garth Brooks, who's such a staple in the country community, to stand out and show it's not all that way. Because I feel like when people think of people who like country music, they think that they would.
There's this label, conservative,
and so it's very good
right-wing.
that Garth Brooks sticks by it and just shows that there's another side.
Absolutely, expressing his beliefs there.
Yeah.